Hello, today we're painting a changing table. This is something that my client bought from Amazon and she wanted more of a gray wash. She sent me some pictures of other tones in her room and that was what I had to go by. So here's the changing table in my studio and I gave it a thorough cleaning with White Lightning, took off all the stickers and all the little things like that. And I gave it a coat of Boss. Well, Boss is a great primer, but I kept getting this. So then I turned to another problem solver called Slick Stick. And finally, after a couple tries and sandings, I got a nice smooth surface. So I started my procedure by gathering all my supplies. So I'm using Voodoo Gel Stain in white, White Magic, Black Magic, Up in Smoke, and I was out of Tobacco Road, which normally I would have used. Instead, I'm substituting Coffee Bean. I have a little bit of Coffee Bean left in my jar, and also the Black Magic isn't coming out real good, so I am taking the cap off and just doing some drops here and there with that, and that's working just fine once I get it started. So this part is kind of interesting to watch, yet boring if I'm talking about it, so I'm just going to kind of let you watch my procedure. I will tell you that I'm using an inexpensive dollar store brush because in this instant I do want brush marks. order to do this section, I did a half at a time, using the same procedure. So now I've diluted my Up in Smoke, my Voodoo Gel Stain, and I've poured it in that same jar, so we're still getting some of that coffee bean tone. But now I'm actually doing a wash because I really have a lot of liquid going on, and so I think we're getting the gray tone more back. So I finished this coat of the gray wash, and I use a little fan brush, and that really helps me along those areas to get any paint that's pooling in those little slats and just make it look a lot more cohesive. So after everything dried, the last step is to wax it. And I'm using Dixie Belle's white wax and also grunge gray wax. I'm using them both together and just applying them sort of in the same direction as I applied all of my paint. And then I'm going to let that sit for about 15 minutes and come back with a soft cloth and buff it. And that's all there was to it. So keep watching, and when you see the pictures at the end, let me know how close you think I came to the customer's original request. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, how about giving it a thumbs up and also share it with your friends? If you haven't subscribed, you'll want to do that so you don't miss anything. Visit us at LaVintageDecor.company, and on Instagram we're LaVintageDecor, and on Facebook we're LaVintageDecor Altoona. Stay well.